Okay, I'm back for part 2. I didn't want to make a part 2, but I'm extremely long-winded and yap, and I really want to make sure this information is clear and helpful for y'all because the CPCE and NCE can feel like really scary tests, and I felt super scared, so I wanted to share any information that I have on it. So now we're on tip number 4, which is studying groups and talk about the things that you learn, like collaborating and like working with people and like teaching people. If you can teach somebody the things you know, like you know it. And that's what I figured out. Like me and my master bestie Haley, we sat down the night before the test when we took the CPCE, and literally like I was able to teach her things, she was able to teach me things, and we were able to collaborate. And like even my fiance, I told him so many things, and he like probably didn't even care that much, but I would just talk to him about like literally all kinds of different like theories and what the differences between the theories were, or different types of research and sampling and all that, group counseling, career counseling, things like that. I really feel like if you can teach it and talk to other people and collaborate, that I found was very helpful. I didn't do it all the time because I do think the studying journey has to be like an individual journey, but like if you're able to collaborate and study in groups, maybe at least once or twice, like before you take these tests, I just think it's helpful, and you could teach something to somebody that they might have not seen it that way or understood it that way, and vice versa, and it really will cement it. Like I remember when I was taking both tests, I was thinking back to conversations I had with my master bestie about it, and I'm like, I remember I said this to her, she said this to me, and like it clicked in my head. So highly recommend not going on this journey alone and like working with other people and collaborating on this journey. Last tip number 5, figure out what sticks for you and works for you. Listen, the reality is that you're not gonna get 100 on any of these tests, and if you do, please comment down below. I will literally clap and be so excited for you. But the reality is that you're not gonna pass like with every single question. So like for me, I'm a perfectionist, and I had a hard time accepting that like there's going to be some career counseling theory that they throw at me and I may not know. And the thing is with both these tests is for instance, the NCE is 200 questions, but only 160 of them are scored, and it's like you may get ones that are right and they're thrown out. And so like when you're taking these tests and studying, just remember like you don't have to get all them right. I think like the best way for me when I take tests is like I tackle the ones that I know and I make the most educated guesses that I can do, and I try to leave the test knowing I did my absolute best and chose the answers that I believed were right. And if that doesn't equal 100, that's okay. As long as I pass the test, that's the goal. And so really figure out what works for you. I used to have like little ways to remember things. So like for instance, for type A and type B errors, I literally could not for the life of me remember them. I don't know why. I just like, maybe I didn't care, I don't know, like I just had a hard time with it. So I learned that type A error, that reminded me of an A student, where type A student thought that their experimental hypothesis was correct, so they rejected null. They're like, I'm right, I'm an A student, I'm always right, so my experimental one is right. But actually it turns out that the null hypothesis was true, so they rejected the null hypothesis even though it was true. So that's what I think for type A. And then for type B, I think the type B students, sometimes they don't have confidence, which also I've gone B's before in my life, and this is no judgment to anybody that gets B's. This is just how my brain worked with the two scenarios. The type B student doesn't have confidence that they're right, so they say that the experimental hypothesis is not right, so they accept null hypothesis even when it's false. So they have like false confidence in themselves. So type A is, they're like, I'm right, they're rejecting the null, and type B is like, oh no, I'm definitely not right, I'm just gonna accept null even whenever it's false. So they don't reject null hypothesis when it's false. That is just an example. Or like another one, my fiance's name is Steven and my name is Madeline. So for Salvador Minuchin structural family therapy, I'm not a family therapist at all. This is how I learned it. Structured, like we keep our house structured, and yeah, the therapist will join in with the family. And so I thought like me and Steven are joining together, so S plus M is joining. Or like another one for family therapy, that was one I really studied on for the NCE. I didn't see that on the CPCE. everybody's test is different. But I studied for it on the NCE, and so like another one was like Bowen, like boy, it goes way back because they like to do generational things. So all that to say, you figure out what works best for you and what sticks in your mind. There's so many theories and different things about things, and it's hard to remember, especially like some of the assessment stuff and research was harder for me, and so I really spent a lot of time figuring out little mnemonics or like sayings that I could say to keep it stick in my mind. And so that was something that helped. And all that to say, do what works best for you. Come up with the little sayings and little things to remember on the test so that when you see it, you don't necessarily have to have them all at the top of your head, but when you see them, you can recognize like, oh yeah, this is having Norman Nugent, so I know the counselor like joins the family, so let me see which one of these answer choices would look like that, or structured like. That's just literally how I did it, and it helped me, and I just highly recommend figuring out what works for you. Everybody's brain's different. That's the hard thing about making a video like this. Something that might work for me might not work for somebody else, and so I just wanted to share the tips that worked for me and that I could help anybody, because these tests are stressful, but I believe in all of y'all. I'm here to support anybody in any kind of way I can. I'll make sure to have the app and the audiobook. I'll put pictures in the video so that y'all can see that, and if y'all have any further questions about them, feel free to DM me. But thank you so much for watching this video. I really hope it's helpful, and if y'all pass the test, let me know. Like, I love hearing about my friends and fellow counseling students passing it, because it is definitely stressful, on top of also like studying for things and having lives and responsibilities. So anything I can do to support people, I want to help, and I hope that y'all have a fantastic rest of your day. I hope this video helps, and I'll see y'all in the next video. Bye.